We have updated talk of what's going to happen here as this Japanese startup is going to launch via satellite artificial meteors. Now, there was talk about sometime in the 2020s this going down, but they're acting like they're definitely going to focus on the year 2020 and maybe New Year's Eve to ring this whole thing in. They're saying that the chemicals involved are apparently a close guarded secret, but they're saying that each satellite is able to carry 400 balls, enough for 20 to 30 meteor events. And apparently they can do several other things here. Now, with this is at a time where there's a lot of talk of this whole space division that has been created by the United States. How this Space Force is going to be taking on different tasks. And when they mentioned other countries, they mentioned specifically Japan in making strides and advancements in this field, saying that they were partnered with them in these endeavors. Now, if we take a peek behind the curtain, let's talk about or think about here some of the things that could go on that's not being talked about. The weaponry, the unique military weaponry that is being utilized. Here recently I did a live stream where I talked about all these government contracts that have been put out there on FedBizOps and everything else, looking to lock down these designs for a vehicle that can go from Earth to the moon, into low orbit, and other variables involved there. Then we look at if they're really trying to fully militarize space here to the public, because whatever they're really doing up there, the black budget has had that covered for some time. So now they're pushing this on the masses. You see? And at the same time, they're going to be conducting these elaborate light shows in the heavens. So this is a warning to anyone out there that doesn't know anything about Project Bluebeam. You might want to do some research. Other projects. And the talk of what could happen and be pulled off in the sky over the masses in an illusionary type of fashion. So you really have to wonder where things are going from here. Now, we've talked about in the past some of the chemicals that have been dropped and sprayed in the skies en masse all across the place, and how it could serve as a deterrent, basically holding or trapping heat in and working toward weather adjustments and things of that nature. But also, it could be used as a backdrop in the atmosphere to beam something onto. So there's a lot involved here. And when you start talking about dropping things from satellites from space, coupling that with the talk of the Space Force, and we know that China has destroyed satellites in space. They proved that in 2007. Russia just put lasers up there. They said, oh, we're going to use them to power other satellites. And it could still be used as a weapon, obviously. And now the United States making these big calls for a brand new Space Force, where there's going to be a lot involved with this, I'm telling you. Right on the heels of this, the UK just came out and said, look, our first spaceport, that's what they called it, is going to be in Scotland. So you have to wonder, how far will they take this? And knowing we have players involved here, you have to look at who could potentially pull something crazy off, how, and it looks like we have the combination all coming together, a culmination of events here, of characters, of technology, moving up into the space realm, subspace realm, under those Van Allen belts, here on this world stage. But wanted to drop this link and some info, some talk here real quick about the situation. I guess it'd be interesting to see what happens between now and then, and from then on. You have to use discernment, and you have to be wise. This has been Taboo 7. Eyes to the skies, and be wise.